देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविडं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव त्वमेव सर्वं गुरुदेवदेव. Hari Om. We are doing the Panchadasi, 14th chapter. So essentially, the Brahmanande Vijnanandaha. One can recognize that Aham Brahmasmi, that is the real knowledge, and any other knowledge is only knowledge of the relative reality, which we call it a false. False is that which appears to be there, but it's not really there. What's really there is only Atma or Brahman. Because Brahman being infinite, there cannot be anything other than Brahman. And Brahman is of the nature of consciousness, is the Upanishad. Prajnanam Brahma, being consciousness, being infinite, there cannot be anything unconscious entity. Therefore, the whole world appears to be that inert world is only an apparent on top of, as though on top of the Brahman. So the one that is apparent is only for transactional purposes, and Upanishad itself gives examples of just as the gold becoming into many ornaments, just as the mud becoming into many pots and pans, are the pots and jugs, not pans, and the wrought iron becoming into iron tools. These are the coming from the Upanishad itself. Yada saumya ekena lohamanina sarvam lohamayam vijnata vacharambanam vikaro namadheyam. So vacharambanam vikaro namadheyam means essentially it's namke vaste in Hindi, or it's namesake creation. There is no real creation, but at the transactional level the creation is real. At the transactional level, rings are different from bangles. There is no confusion there. The ring utility is different from bangle utility, but the essence is, of course, is nothing but the Brahman or gold itself is from the relative point. From the point of absolute, it is a Brahman. That is the knowledge. So in the Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, student goes and asks, "Sir, please teach me that knowledge, knowing which I know everything." That is essentially Brahma Vidya. If I know Brahman, everything is only superficial names and forms. I have substantive knowledge, but not necessarily the names and forms which keep changing. That's a relative knowledge. So once I understood that Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, that means I am stand for the consciousness, existence, and existence has to be limitless, and that's how the Upanishad starts in the Chandogya. Sadeva Saumya Idamagram Asid Ekameva Advitiyam. Existence alone was there before creation, and that is infinite. And that existence is I am. I exist. There's anybody has doubts about their own existence? No. And nobody has doubts about their conscious entity. What their doubts is about happiness only. Therefore, I think I am this localized body, my intellect, tadatmyam, that is the identification with what I am not as I am, causes all the suffering. But once I understood that I am Brahmasmi, because when I don't understand, I want that for me to be happy, I want this to be happy, so I am going after, like a rat race, going after one object or other, and when the object comes, I am temporarily satisfied, truptaha. But again, the inadequacy of feeling comes because I am still finite, I want to be infinite. So by adding finite things, I want to become infinite. You can never reach the infinity by adding finite things. Only way is recognize that I am already infinite. That is the real Vidya. So the Shankara says, Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, Jivo Varmayonaparaha. Brahman alone is real, and world is only Mithya, means names and forms on the substantive Brahman that I am. Once I understood I am Brahman, I am full, complete, because there is nothing else I need, because I am already full. Once I am full, there is no longing for or a wanting for or a desiring mind. Therefore, I am truptaha. Sarva, all the time satisfied. And that's what was discussed in the last sloka. So tadetat krutam krutyatvam pratiyogi puraha saram anusandadivayam evam triptasya nischasaha. So I have accomplished what need to be accomplished. In all other things I want to do this, I want to do this, because I feel I am a limited guy, and for me to become infinite I want something else to be done. To gain this, to gain that, work has to be done. Without work I can't get anything, including eating food. I have to at least eat if somebody makes it. If nobody makes it, I have to make it and then eat. So work has to be done in order to reach the fullness. And I don't need to, because I'm already full. Then I don't have to cook if I'm already full. There's no need for me to cook. There's no need for me to eat. There's no need for me to go and work, because I'm already full all the time. So triptaha tadetat prutaktrutyatvam. So that alone is that state of fulfillment is krutakrutyaha, is satisfied by that means all that work, all that need to be done have been done. And pratiyogi puraha saraha. So pratiyogi puraha saraha. So remembering earlier state where I was longing for it and all that. Anusandadivayam. So contemplating and analyzing, I am this jnani in this way. He says, I was struggling hard before, and I don't know why, because I am already, even in ajnana kale api I am Brahman. That means even when I do not know that I am Brahman, I am Brahman. I don't become Brahman, I don't gain a Brahman. Now I was not Brahman, no, I became Brahman. It's not like that. One cannot become infinity by adding anything. I am already infinite, but I thought I am a finite and solving a problem where there is no real problem to solve. Why I understood that there is no real problem to solve, then I am full by myself. Therefore, evam truptasya nityashaha. I am eternally happy and eternally contented. That means there is no more longing mind or a wanting mind. That's how Krishna also defines as pradhati yadakaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmani eva atmana tushtaha. So tushtaha, the contentment about oneself, myself, I am happy as I am, therefore I don't need anything else. That is the state of a Jivan Mukta. We'll do 40 now, 42. Dukkhino jnaha samsarantu, Dukkhino jnaha samsarantu, Kamam putradyapechaya, Kamam putradyapechaya, Paramananda purnoham, Paramananda purnoham, Samsarami kimichaya, Samsarami kimichaya. Together. Dukkhino jnaha samsaram, Tu kamam putradyapechaya, Paramananda purnoham, Samsarami kimichaya. So now, because I am already full, I have no expectation from anybody else. So dukkinaha ajnaha. The ajnaha means the one who is unfulfilled. That means not knowing, or ajnani, who doesn't know that he is Brahman. That means the in my state before, dukkinaha is always in a miserable state. Because why? Because he has some expectations from everybody. This is a big problem of samsara. Samsara is, I am expecting something, everybody to meet my expectations. So I want them to do this, and I want her to do this, and they don't do it. I get frustrated. But what's the problem? I'm expecting my son to take care of me. Why I expect? Because I took care of my son when he was growing up. I fed him, I took care so much of it, and now he doesn't even bother about me. So I am getting disappointed because my son, when I need him, he is not there. When he needed me, I was there. So this is the problem. I expect a reciprocity. That's why people have complained that I help so many people, but none of them have any gratitude. This is a common complaint I hear also in Facebook and all that. So I help so many people, and they don't really care now, and they don't have any gratitude, and they do in fact something that hurts me now. And what kind of people are they? That's what we criticize everybody. Because I help them. If I help to expect a gratitude, then it is not real help. It's only transactional help. If I build up my son so that he will be taking care of me in my old age, then that's a wrong. It's my duty to upbring my son and let him go. If he takes care of me when I need it, that's well and good. If he doesn't take care of me, Lord will take care of me. Because Lord, before he came, Lord has already sent. So I had to go through. Lord means Lord everything. Everything is nothing but the Lord. So Lord in any form, if he doesn't take care, Lord wants me to go earlier. That's all. So that is his problem, not my problem. So therefore, the problem of the body, mind and intellect belongs to the Prakriti. That is the understanding of a Jnani. So Jnani doesn't mean that he doesn't have any expectations. Now what he expects is, this is property of the God and that's what he takes care of it. Why should I worry about it? That's his problem. So that is real Tyagam. Tyagenaike amritattva manashu. Tyagam is discarding what the wrong notions about myself, because I took myself, I am the body and mind, intellect, and I have expectations of everybody and nobody meets my expectations, and therefore what? Do not have any expectations. Do your duty, when it is, then leave that to him, and everything that comes on the way, to accept is the prasadam. Yes, as we go old, particularly as we are becoming old, and things will not work as it was planned already. You took care of the well, you took care of this, you took care of that, body will still have a problem, and somebody has to feed you. Says, who is going to take care? If I start worrying about it, that worry itself is going to be a problem. Who brought this body? Body belongs to him. Because the body is functioning, aham Vaishwanaro bhutva swaminam deham asritaha. I am the Vaishwanara who is taking care of me. He decided it's no more useful for anybody, so he is withdrawing slowly. So things are not working as before. The knees are paining, the hearing loss, then the eyesight loss, and the functions are not working. I'm not able to walk, I'm not able to sit. Sitting is a problem, getting up is a problem. All these body problems, even a Jnani will have. Jnani's body will have. Jnani will not think that I am having it. The Lord in this body is having it. That's his problem to take care. If it's taken care, Lord is being taken care of itself. So that should be the attitude. So therefore, he has no expectations of putradhya, apekshaha. Apeksha means expectations I do not have. Ajnani will have expectations, and people don't meet expectations, therefore suffering. So Paramananda Purnoham. Why? Because I am Parama Ananda Purnam. I am completely full. It's not Ananda that I am going to get, because my nature is Ananda. So that is Parama Anandaha Purnaha Aham and Samsarami Kimichaya. So what desire? Kimichaya, desiring what? I need to struggle hard or do something. I have nothing to do. If at all I do, it's only for Loka Kalyanam. That he's going to tell later. But I have nothing to do. I don't have to get up. I don't have to eat. I don't have to do this. I don't have to even anything. I don't have to do it. Because I am full as I am, by complete and full. But we will see how I can still transact in the world knowing I am full. Also has to be understood. 43. Anutishtantu karmani paraloka iyasavaha sarvalokatmaka kasmat anutishthami kim katham. Together, anutishtantu karmani paraloka iyasavaha sarvalokatmaka kasmat anutishthami kim katham. So paraloka yayasavaha. So Yayasavaha. So Paraloka say, I want to go to heavens or I want to go to this. That's what the other religions teach you, that if you follow them, you go to heaven. Otherwise, you go to eternal hell. There is only eternal only for them. But what was there before I was born here, that they cannot ask, because if it is eternal, one side I call it semi-infinite model. So infinity on the other side. But what happened to this? Suddenly I started in this life. Before that I don't have previous life, but now I have eternal hell or heaven. We cannot ask that, because somebody ate apple. That's why you are born. That's why. So anutishtantu karmani. So sarva lokaya. So people are, in those days also, people are trying to do something so that they can go to heaven. So I have no desire to go any heaven. Why? Desiring heavens, etc. Karmani, yajnas, etc. are being anutishtantu. Somebody may perform all that. Sarva lokatmakehi. So the one who is already pervading everywhere. Here is a beautiful statement of Vidyaranyaji. He says, I am infinite. Infinite includes all lokas. That means I am already there in that. So I don't have to struggle hard. You have to struggle hard to go to heavens and all that. So you go to the heaven, there are 7 lokas up and 7 lokas down. 14 lokas you can travel around. But I am there everywhere, and I don't have to travel because I am there everywhere. Being infinite, I cannot be any particular place. So anutishtantu karmani sarvaloka yasya. So only those people who want to go somewhere, because they think they are here and not there, therefore they have to go there. So if I have to go to Bangalore or somewhere else, I am here and I am not there. So I have to take a train or do something else. To go to higher lokas, I cannot take a plane. I have to only go to higher lokas. The vehicle is the dharmas, that is the merits and all that will carry me to that place. Until the merits cannot carry me anymore, I'll be dropped down again. So here, sarva lokatmakaha, I am there in every essence of every loka. Then kasmat anutishtanti kim katham. So here, what for I have to do any yajnas to go anywhere? Because I am already there. So without doing anything, I am already reached that place. You can say you cannot reach that place. You are already there all the time anyway. So katham kim, how and which. Anuthishtami, I should perform. So there is no karmas that need to be done. So here, you have to do Veda Vihita karmas, obligatory duties as prescribed by the Vedas. Why? If you don't do it, you get pratyavaya papam. If you don't do Sandhya Vandanam, if you go and do Arati and all that, that which are prescribed by the Vedas, you will go to hell, because I am already there. Hell also, yes, hell also. So everywhere there was some interesting question by in the thermodynamics class. Those people who don't understand it. So the teacher asked the question is, prove that hell is either an endothermic system or exothermic system. Endothermic system means heat gets absorbed. Exothermic system is heat gives out. So you have to prove logically whether hell is exothermic or endothermic system. This is for chemical reactions. Chemical students know it. And one student wrote, it has to be exothermic system. Why do you say so? Because his logic is that according to any particular religion, unless you follow that religion, if you don't follow that religion, you will go into the hell. That's the religion. So everyone who doesn't follow that religion are headed towards the hell. And from the other point religion, since you are not following that religion and only this religion, you are heading the hell also. So from this mutual exclusion process, everybody is heading to hell only. That's number one. Number two, hell is finite, because hell is different from heaven and heaven is different from the world. So therefore each limits the other. So hell is a finite system and everybody is heading towards that. And population is continuously increasing. So everybody's population here will be going all the way, getting packed there only in a finite system. When you start packing things in a finite things, it gets heated up. That's a logic. So it must be heat is coming out. Therefore, it has to be exothermic system. So of course, I don't know, he passed, I think. So that is because of the idea of going somewhere and so on. If I am already hell and also heaven also, not that hell only, I am eternally hell and eternally heaven. So what is there for me to go anywhere and to do anything, to follow anything, to follow any religion also? That's why Hinduism is not a religion. People call it Hinduism only because of to differentiate from others. It is called Sanatana Dharmam. That's my very nature. And that's what is the here. Anyway, we're not going to deviate, but here there is no reason for me to do anything at all. That's the idea here. 44. Vachakshatam te shastrani vachakshatam vyachakshate vyachakshadam te shastrani vedanadhyapayantu va vedanadhyapayantu va yetradhikarno metu nadhikaro kriyatvatah. Now he is talking about first reference to the worldly things. The second he is talking about other worlds also. Now he is talking about the Vedanta Sravanam and other things also. So atra in the karma upasana, ye adhikaranaha, so those who are qualified, they shastrani, the scriptures, vyachashchatam, may expand. So let them study the Vedas and Karma Kanda, all that. Why? Those who are qualified to do that, let them study. So it says vyachashchatam, may expound, or let them study, and after studying teach others also who Vedadhyanam or the Gurukula system, all that, let them have it. Or Vedas adhyapayantu, may teach Vedas also. So not only you study, and once you study and become this one, you teach, pass on to the next generation, and that becomes Veda Adhyanam. And two, but akriyatvatah, I am never a doer, there is no kartrutva bhavam in me, because I am already full. In infinite cannot do anything. So because I realize that I am Brahmasmi, then there is no longing for me to do anything, including either study of Vedas or teaching of Vedas, because that's only for those who have a notion that they have to study or do teaching. So I am never a doer. So akriyatataha, because I am never a doer, me adhikaranaha na. What kind of obligation I have to, adhikari here is obligation to do either study of Vedas or teach the Veda. We are talking about karma kandas of the Veda. So neither Vedadhyanam nor the Veda studies or nor the teaching of Vedas, Gurukula system, all that I have nothing to do, because I am never a doer, and therefore I am not going to do in future also, because being infinite, therefore I don't have any kartrutva bhavam. 45. Nidra bhikshe snana sauche, nidra bhikshe snana sauche, nechamina karomi cha, nechamina karomi cha, drushtaraschet kalpayanti, kim me syat anya kalpanat, kim me syat anya kalpanat. Together, nidra bhikshe snana sauche, nechamina karomi cha, drushtaraschet kalpayanti, kim me syat anya kalpanat. So nidra, bhiksha, so I have to sleep, I have to eat, and taking food, snanam, taking bath, saucham, cleaning myself, and purification, etc. Na echami, I have no desire to do it. This is a very strange to say. He is giving an example at the body level, at the external world level. Now he is coming back at the physical level, at his body level, and says, I had to take bath, I had to sleep, and I had to take bath, and I had to sleep, I had to eat, and I had to purify myself. All that na ichchami na karomi cha. Neither I have a desire, nor I'm going to do it. Na karomi, I do not do this. Drishtaram, the onlooker said, if they want, kalpayanti, they imagine that I am doing it. He says, Drashtaram says, Chet, imagine this anya kalpanat, by their imagine, others may see that I am doing all that. Kim syat, what does it matter to me? Even if others see that I am sleeping, I am eating, I am taking bath, I am purifying myself, I am doing all the 9 yards as was before, but really, from my standpoint, there is nothing really I am doing. Comments, the body, mind, intellect, prakriti itself is doing all that. I am not doing, there is no kartrutva bhavam is not there. That has to be understood. So, maya abhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam. Under my guidance, under my adhyaksha presidentship, the prakriti is creating the whole. Without him, nothing can happen. At the same time, he is not doing it. That's what is the whole idea is. That being infinite, there is nothing I need to do. Not I can do, need to do. At the same time, in my support, because the adhara is there, the body is functioning, because I am enlivening the body. In my presence, it is enlivened. Not that I am enlivening the body, that's an action. Sakshi doesn't do anything at all. In the presence of Sakshi, the things get enlivened. Just like sunlight is shining there. So ask sunlight, why are you shining? Why are you making everything visible? He says, I have nothing to do with any of that. So the moon, in the presence of sunlight, it reflects sunlight and appears to be a luminous entity in the sky. So sun doesn't have the responsibility or accountability that, hey, you are making the moon unnecessarily a luminous entity. If you ask, why are you doing it? Sun will say, I have nothing to do with it. It is the moon that is reflecting, and reflection is the moon problem. I am only shining, and whatever that is falling on that, it is getting reflected because of the moon. Without the moon, there is no reflection. But I am just self-shining, I have nothing to do with it. In the same way, the body, mind and intellect will function as usual, but no kartrutva bhavam will be there. So, nidra, bhikshe, snana, sauche, nechami, na karomi cha. So, I am not doing it, neither I have desire to do it. Drashtarashchit kalpayanti. So, the people, onlooker people think that I am doing it, and that is their kalpana. They imagine that I am doing it. So, people ask, Swamiji, have you slept very well? So, should I say, I never sleep any time? He doesn't have to answer it. He can say, I slept very well. So, one fellow introduced Swami Teja Mahendra says, Swamiji, this body is married to that body. He's introducing his wife and says that this body is married to that body. So this kind of strange language one doesn't have to use, and some people use since I cannot say this I am eating, says this donkey wants to eat or this donkey wants to sleep, unless he is a donkey. So he doesn't have to use a strange language in order to communicate. So therefore, the normal working is going on, but other people think that you are doing it, but in your understanding, cognitively, you know, Aham Brahmasmi, I am only acting as though I am doing, but not really I am knowing. So when I am in the stage as an actor, where playing a role of a king and punishing a person in the stage, there I am only acting and acting as a role that is playing, but from the actor's point, you cannot prosecute him for the action that he has done on the stage, because he is not accountable, because he has not really done it. That is the same understanding here. We'll stop with this. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya పూర్ణమేవావశిష్యతే. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. హరి ఓం. శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. హరి ఓం.